Hello everyone and welcome back to HoopTalk podcast. I'm Gary.
I'm Shannon.
And this week we are going to talk about the Dark Universe. Woo.
No, that's not the reaction for that. The reaction is
Fuck, are they actually doing that?
What's that? 15% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Tom Cruise?
Yeah, Jesus, fucking 15%. Wait, for those of you who don't know, is it Sony that's doing it?
Universal.
Universal.
Because they're the ones who own the
They
monsters.
own the monsters. So, cast your mind back to old black and white film days where the old horror classics of The Mummy, which was somebody wrapped in medical bandages and with arms outstretched and shit. How it was literally people would open the tomb and scary mummy comes out and chases them down and chokes them to death or whatever.
Except now it is where's she from? Middle East?
She seems, from my memory, she's like a Middle Eastern woman who, it's like she was so evil that they mummified her, and it's like,
well, she was alive. And now cursed everyone, and she comes back and gives Tom Cruise the ability to bring people back from the dead.
No, he can come back. He can come back from the dead.
Whatever, it's stupid.
Because Shannon, he has eliminated enough Titans that he can come back from the dead.
He has reached OT3.
He probably has.
He's probably now OT clear, to be honest.
Probably.
And he is soon to become the reincarnation of L. Ron Hubbard. And
which
live
begs
forever
the question,
until
who the
he
fuck
dies
was
at
he?
73 for a heart attack.
It will be... Anyway, look, we're getting off topic in a way, but the old monster films, The Mummy, Frankenstein's Monster, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and so forth.
The Invisible Man.
They're all being rebooted.
I know, and it's fucking stupid.
Because Marvel went, why don't we make a cinematic universe where we bring all these characters together and see how it does? And it's amazing. So Universal went, what the fuck do we have? And somebody went,
Phantom of the Opera?
There's the monsters. I mean,
we got the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I mean, people aren't sick of vampires anymore. I think
Jesus.
Twilight stopped now. So
well, from what I just heard, read online, apparently Kate Beckinsale was offered the part of Wonder Woman. Speaking of vampires, yep, and she turned it down.
Aww.
But anyway, that's a different universe.
Aww,
the
that
Dark.
That could have been better.
Good? Yes, it could have been good. Good. Good is the word you want. Actually entertaining.
Instead of, I am in a Fast and Furious film, and that is it.
Well, folks, the Dark Universe has begun. The Dark Universe is the movie monsters of old, coming to the modern age.
So, for a dark and gritty reboot
that no one fucking asked for and no one apparently wants to see.
Okay, I'm gonna just come out and say this right here. Never in my fucking life have I ever gone, do you know what I want? A dark, gritty, realistic feminist movie about the Bride of Frankenstein. But you know we're getting it.
Well, I do, because do you know who's playing the Bride of Frankenstein?
Yes, I fucking do.
Angelina fucking Jolie. Now, let's start off. They have already made The Mummy.
Yeah.
Starring Tom Cruise and lady
Sophia some shit.
Who the fuck cares?
She had knife legs in Kingsman.
Yeah. So, if you're starting off a cinematic universe, your immediate thought is, my one would be, I want to get this right. I want people to watch this and go, holy shit, I can't wait to see the rest of these.
No, do you know what you do, right? You go and you sit down, you watch the old movies, and then you go, wow, those were good. And that's it. That's all you fucking do. You don't reboot anything. You fucking stop it.
Maybe.
Get some help.
Do you know what they could have done? Which I would have accepted. We are re-releasing all of the old black and white monster movies that you can now go see in the theatre as a marathon. That would have been cool.
Do what they did before The Force Awakens came out. Marathon all of the films in the cinema. Done. You make more money. Everyone loves you.
Now, unfortunately, before you reboot a universe, you have your first movie coming out. Okay? Let's take Iron Man. Right?
Yeah, you test the waters. That wasn't planned to be the start of a universe.
Well, not even that. Do you remember the trailer?
Yes.
How the fucking, like, the music of AC/DC comes on and it's like, oh, this looks awesome. I can't fucking wait to see the rest of this. Now, do you remember the trailer for the Mummy?
Yes, I know what you're doing. Musicless screaming in space.
Universal accidentally released their trailer unedited without any music or sound effects. So it's this big dramatic scene of a plane crash with an ADR scream of Tom Cruise going, ah, 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 and it doesn't match up to him whatsoever. No. It was so laughable that, like, I remember when I first saw it, I didn't know that had happened, and I was like, why does this sound weird? Was this the intention? And I turned it off because I was like, there's something fucked up about this. And then when I heard it was like, oh, you fucking idiots.
They're idiots.
That should have been the moment where they went, pull the fucking film, forget about it, let's just re-release the old ones, we made a fucking terrible mistake. But no, they went, let's keep going, let's release the actual trailer, which wasn't much fucking better.
Do you know what I hate about these, right, actually?
What?
What I was saying, Iron Man, when Iron Man came out, that wasn't meant to be a trilogy of films that were kicking off the universe. It was just, we have the rights to Iron Man, why don't we try and make a movie out of it?
Yeah.
And when it succeeded, they were like, oh shit.
People want these.
And so they decided to start a universe.
Yeah.
So stop going into these movies going, we're gonna make a universe. Because DC and Universal, you guys are fucking up your first batch of movies. And
I would have been happy if DC hadn't tried to make a universe, but just made their movies.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they want to make as much money as possible so that they can later on sell a giant a box set, DVD, Blu-ray thing of all of the shit movies that no one actually wants to buy.
A tin.
Yeah.
Because that's the grittiest DVD Blu-ray box you can fucking
Hey, they
release.
did that to the Judge Dredd film. Leave it alone.
But Judge Dredd is meant to be dirty and fucked up looking.
But they
Not
keep...
Superman, truth, justice, and the American way.
And my father dying in a tornado. But they keep jumping into this going, we're gonna make money off of this. Without testing the fucking waters first. Unless Christopher Nolan's Batman was their attempt at testing the waters, but when they failed on the third one, they were like, oh shit, and they gave it a couple of years. But like, they don't seem to realise that you kind of need to start off with something to test the waters and see if people are receptive to the character that you've made, and then you release solo films of the characters so that we know what they feel like, rather than going, and they're all in the same universe and they're all going to interact in the end, woo!
We're going to have a universe where all the monsters come together.
Doing
what?
I
don't want to see that.
Yeah, doing what? They having a big monster mash?
Oh my god. You may have figured out the way to save the Dark Universe. Have a big dramatic build-up where they're all going to run at each other and fight, and then have that song start up.
Monster mash.
Holy shit.
Monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash. Anyway, so we haven't seen The Mummy because why the fuck would we bother? But from what I have learnt...
See, I want to say we haven't seen The Mummy because we're smart, but we saw Suicide Squad. So we're clearly not very smart. But yeah, we haven't seen The Mummy.
Now, from my knowledge of what I've read and shit like this, The Mummy is... Tom Cruise is a Tomb Raider of sorts. And he arrives in some place in the Middle East where there's a big fight going on, terrorism happening, and because he's Tom Cruise, he's able to survive an explosion.
Yes, because when something like that happens, you know that you are the only one who can help.
The ground opens up, revealing a tomb. And it's like acid or something that the sarcophagus is in, which for some reason doesn't dissolve it, but we won't look at that. And he shoots a rope, because, you know, being somebody who raids tombs and wants to actually make money off these things, of course the first thing you want to do is fire bullets at them. This coffin rises up, which is quite possibly the most clearly evil fucking thing you could ever look at, because it's this fucking demon face on it, and all hell breaks loose. Then for some reason, somebody who was writing this film went, you know what we should do? We should have a secret government agency who's aware of the monsters in the world.
Like
and have it run by Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but for some reason has, like, this...
Apparently he chose the scenery throughout the entire thing, and it's just generally shit.
All they did was, like, they CGI'd his face so he looks like one of the vampires from fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
He just is generally being Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
And,
throws his phone at somebody at one point.
He tells his daughter, Emma Watson, that she can't give birth to children, and then tries to kill them.
Noah movie. Oh. Let's not get into that. That's a dark universe. I want the biblical dark universe.
Cain and Abel.
Oh my god.
Dawn of Night.
Jesus Christ. Just call it Jesus Christ. But, like, say it. You have to say, like, Jesus Christ. But anyway.
That would only be a hit in Ireland, Gary.
Yeah, true. So, I don't really give a fuck as to how this movie concludes. I know for some reason that it's a female mummy and so forth.
I believe he brings someone back from the dead.
Doesn't that... Yeah, he's somehow got powers. Oh, I remember there's a bit in the trailer where he's, like, flying around a room, smashing her into a wall, and then she's smashing him into a wall. Mummies can fly now. Another thing is, why is it a thing with mummies that their faces can come out of sand? They did that in the ones with Brendan, I'm probably going to be dead in less than a year, Fraser.
Brendan, I'm going to cry in the middle of an interview, Fraser.
What happened? Here, if anyone here is listening and is aware of what is happening to Brendan Fraser, please let us know, because I can't find anything online. I have literally typed in, what has happened to Brendan Fraser? And people are like, oh, well, he's not really acting that much anymore. And it's like, no, I don't want to know.
Mentally.
I want to know what happened to him mentally and physically, because he looks like he witnessed
his
a
hair
tragedy.
Is falling out, his skin is slowly dying. It's the curse of the mummy, Gary.
Oh dear.
The curse of the mummy
Imhotep got to him.
Yeah. Finally, giant CG scorpion, The Rock.
Oh god, yes, the Scorpion King, played by Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I loved that because it's so shittily done.
Dirt.
It's so bad. My favourite bit is that GIF.
Where Brendan Fraser stabs the Scorpion King, and then Imhotep runs in and drops one knee and goes, "No!" And it's the fucking funniest thing on earth.
At least the old mummy movies were intentionally stupid.
Yeah, they were a bit of fun, but when you try to make a concept of a
The
fucking
dark
Egyptian mummy
universe.
comes back from the dead and comes... Try and set it back in olden times.
Yeah,
I would have been happy with that.
I don't know how they're going to do the Frankenstein story
Yeah.
in modern day.
Apparently they're doing the Bride of Frankenstein first.
What? That's stupid.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
You have Frankenstein's monster, and what you do is have it end with him fucking off somewhere. Like the original fucking... the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
He goes and hides in a cave.
Have him, like, he wanders off into the fucking Arctic, because he's like, I'm not welcome here.
I wish that someone would actually make the Frankenstein that Mary Shelley wrote, where it's not the whole, he's alive, it's alive. It's this just really egotistical, asshole fucking science student who is basically wanting to prove that he's better than everyone, so he makes a fucking monster. Yeah. And then when the monster comes to life, he's like, oh god, it worked, shuns him and fucking ignores him for like about 2 years, and then the monster comes back and tries to rip his face off. Like,
that's what I think should happen. I think the whole movie, of the Frankenstein movie should be he creates this monster and it's chasing him down. But then Professor fucking Frankenstein convinces everyone, like, look, there's a fucking monster that's coming to kill us all, and it's chased away, and then you could have a really sad moment at the end.
Was the Frankenstein's monster actually didn't want to kill anyone. He just wanted answers.
Yeah. So what you do is you have a really sad fucking ending where they're like, they put him on a fucking boat out in the middle of the ocean, and Professor Frankenstein is like, shoves the boat off. And you just have a moment where a monster...
Father.
Just have him be like, you were my father. Why would you do this? And then have Frankenstein be like, oh, I'm the monster. And just have it fade out as the boat goes off into the fucking, like, the fog. And that'd be grand. I'd be okay with that. Then you have the rest of the fucking movies. And then you have Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah. Where he comes back. I'll forgive you, but you're going to make me a wife, a companion. Because I'm fucking lonely. Because no one wants to fucking be around me. Because you have created this legend that I'm a fucking monster.
Yeah.
When you're the fucking monster.
But no, we're going to have... Do you know what I think's going to happen with this?
She's going to be some fucking badass fucking kung fu fighting Bride of Frankenstein.
Bullshit, yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna make the Bride of Frankenstein, and then when they finally do make Frankenstein, it's probably gonna be set 25 years ago or some shit.
It's not. It's gonna be set in modern times.
No, but
how do you do that now?
I think Frankenstein is gonna be set 25 years ago at the dawn of like the 90s, as a way of having. They'll already have had Frankenstein in the Bride of Frankenstein, and no one will want to watch it. But they've already funneled money into this thing, so they're gonna have to do the rest of them.
True. The whole idea of Frankenstein in modern times
doesn't work.
Do you remember, was it Frankenstein?
Yeah.
With Two-Face from fucking The Dark Knight?
Something, yeah.
It was ridiculous. It flopped majorly. It can't work in modern times.
Unfortunately, a lot of the concepts that they're trying to do, like the Bride of Frankenstein, okay, and Frankenstein in general, they've already tried it to be set in modern times. Doesn't work. They have tried Van Helsing. They've tried to make that Van Helsing movie. Didn't work.
But that's the thing. They're making them action movies.
Yeah, they've tried
what happened to horror?
The untold story of Dracula. Didn't work.
Dracula Untold?
Yeah, didn't work. They haven't done...
I wanted to like that film.
No.
I sat down one day and actually watched it because I was like, I want to enjoy a Dracula film. And the only good bit about it is his name Charles Dance fucking...
yeah, I think it's Charles Dance.
Your man from fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Tyrion's dad. He plays this Nosferatu creature that makes Vlad into the fucking monster. Like, that was the story I wanted to fucking see.
Do you know who has successfully done a vampire story set in the modern day?
Who?
What We Did in the Shadows.
Yeah. Simple. Make it a fucking
funny.
comedy, like. They need... See, I'm trying to figure out how you could do Dracula in modern days.
You can't.
Because you can't... Like, with technology and shit like that, and the way the world's run, somebody living in a big fuck-off castle in Transylvania doesn't really work.
No, he'll live in Brooklyn and have an apartment and he'll work in IT. That's my predictions.
I think he's going to be a scientist. That's going to... Or it's going to be something along the lines of he's a sickly man who's dying and he's trying to find a cure. And it's going to be... I found something in the genetic material... The genetic sequencing of bats. And it's going to be a fucking Green Goblin from Spider-Man where he fucking injects himself with this shit. And he's going to turn into a fucking vampire. But it'll be a thing where it's like... He's suddenly worse. And he's trying to figure out how to work. And one of his fucking workers will be getting like a slide for a microscope
Accidentally
and it'll
cuts
crack
themselves.
and be like, oh god, that's deep, and you'll have that moment where he's like looking at the blood and it's like, and you'll see the fucking veins popping up on your man's arm for some reason, and he'll be like and fucking want to. Now the only way I think that they could make a Dracula film good now is get who played Dracula before. Gary fucking Oldman.
No, do you know who you get to play Dracula? The guy who played Dracula in fucking Van Helsing. Well, Hugh Jackman. I fucking loved him.
Oh god.
He was fucking amazing.
You want to do one who talks like this in the whole film.
I love him.
I think it needs to be played creepy. I wouldn't have made these action films.
See, Gary Oldman is too old now. They want to
Gary Oldman could play a 10-year-old. Gary Oldman isn't old. Gary Oldman has been old for years. He's still good at it.
Do you know who you get if they were smart, but they're not? You get Doug Jones.
Holy fuck, that would be terrifying.
Have him be Doug Jones himself for the first half.
Yeah.
And then he turns into Doug Jones, the amazing, miraculous, body-morphing psychopath.
God. Also, that brings us on to the point of Guillermo del Toro should be making all of these films.
Yeah. Oh
Every
my god.
single
I
one of
cannot
them.
wait for this fucking
The Shape of Water. Well, speaking of which, The Creature from the Black Lagoon is one of the films they're making. Just go to Guillermo del Toro and go, hey man, we've got a cinematic universe idea of the monsters, and he'll go, okay, cool, I make it.
Do you know how I think that they could save this shit, right?
How?
The Mummy, and if they do the Bride of Frankenstein, the Creature of the Black Lagoon, the Invisible Man, and all this bullshit, right? If they do it all, and we all know they're going to be all terrible, but you know how you solve it?
How?
Add a final film onto the end of this cinematic universe. Where we find out that there are a group of people who aren't part of this government who know about it, but a group of people who have heard about all these monsters and don't believe that they're really monsters and wants to solve the mysteries.
The Scooby-Doo gang?
Yes!
I would be okay with this.
Exactly!
Do you know how you could do it?
Go on. Thelma worked in a fucking...
Bear with me now. I'm going to jump to the 6th movie that is set up, which is The Wolfman. And you have a whole thing where it's like he's a recluse who lives off, in the woods. Big hairy cunt. You get fucking Jason Momoa or something to play him.
Yeah.
Or...
Well, no, someone who can act.
Oh dear. Well, anyway, do you know who you get? You know the fucking mad ginger fucking wildling from Game of Thrones?
Yes, oh my god,
get him to play the fucking Wolfman. He has a dog.
Oh.
And through the whole movie, it's like there's a hound that comes to our village and keeps picking people off. And the whole time you're meant to think it's his fucking dog, that he's some horrible lunatic who comes to the town and kills people by getting his dog to attack them. But then you haven't revealed that he's actually the wolf.
Yeah.
You have a moment where maybe he's going after a kid and the dog intervenes. And he fucking swipes at the fucking dog. The dog goes down. And you don't touch on it again.
The dog gets infected with the Wolfman thing, except because he's already a dog, he now can speak.
Yeah. And you bring that back at the end... And it's literally, okay, you have a group of young scientists.
If we're gonna have, say, what were you saying, Dracula. Dracula's a scientist. His assistant, this nerdy little pudgy lesbian assistant, Velma. Fucking Invisible Man, his best friend, this rich guy who's perpetually stuck. Have it be like stuff like that. Creature from the Black Lagoon. It
starts at like a party on a beach, and it's fucking Daphne.
Fucking Van Helsing.
No, do you know how you introduce Shaggy?
Dude.
after all of these movies, you have the post-credit scene, which is the lab where Velma works, and she has the dog, but it gets out. And it's running along, and it's trying to hide.
There's just a guy in a park lining up a fucking chair.
You have, like, there's a club playing music, and the back door opens, and the dog's huddled behind this dumpster as these, like, agents are running by the alleyway. And you just hear someone lighting up with smoke, and then, oh, hey, guy, how are you? And, like, leans over and pets the dog, and it's like, you're not scared of me. And he's like, whoa. Cut to black. The fucking Scooby-Doo universe is coming. That would, like, or you literally, he doesn't go, whoa. He just kind of steps back and looks at the joint in his hand. He goes, zoinks. That I would fucking pay.
See, I've solved the problem.
Yeah. Make it either extremely horror-oriented or fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I now really want a Scooby-Doo fucking universe. This could really fucking work. Then you could do, in the Scooby-Doo universe, you bring in celebrities like Scooby-Doo fucking did. Now, unfortunately, Adam West has since passed. But you remember when they met Batman and Robin and the fucking Harlem Globetrotters and shit? Like, you could have shit like that. Yeah, fucking awesome stuff. I think recently they met John Cena somehow. But beyond the point.
They also in the comics teamed up with Harley.
That's
Quinn,
true, yeah.
And Velma pointed out how secretly Joker actually loves her, and it's so nice. Because it's like, yay, the smartest woman in the world realises the Joker actually loves Harley.
Oh, I now don't want to talk about the rest of these films without the input of
I'm
the
sorry,
Scooby
did I
Gang.
ruin this?
No, you haven't. You've actually made it 1,000,000 times better.
Imagine the Phantom of the Opera. Have that be their first mystery. Have it be one of Daphne's friends is an actress who is
Freddy's grandfather dies.
Okay.
And he's got a will. I need you to take care of my belongings, my will, whatever. You're the executor of my will. And it turns out the rest of the family got everything.
Yeah.
But Freddy was given his old opera house.
Okay.
So he gathers his mates and they're like, hey, we might as well go to this fucking place. I'm going to sell it anyway. And they go in and you do it like a horror movie. Where they go to this fucking place where they're like, why don't we just hang out in an old fucking abandoned opera house? It'll be fucking cool. We can fuck around with all the outfits and shit. But then you have that there's a secret basement. That maybe his grandfather had a son that he didn't tell anyone about. And he's a fucked up freak that wears the mask and shit.
Falls in love with Daphne.
You could have something like that. Literally something like that. And it's suddenly like music starts playing the organ and shit. You have the whole Phantom of the Opera thing play out, but with the Scooby-Doo gang as a horror fucking movie. That would be terrifying. Like, you could have little terrifying moments where, like, maybe they find a costume room and you have, like, Daphne picks up a dress and she's like, wow, like, this must have been in style back in the day.
And it's the purple original fucking outfit.
Yeah. And she's like, wow, okay. And she leans over and she's rooting through the box. And in the mirror, you just have him step in, like, as if it's a two-way mirror. So he's looking at her. And then have him step back. And she steps back up in another dress. That's, immediately, it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, there's somebody there. Terrifying. You could literally do this. This is a fucking great idea. I want to think about all of these now. The Invisible Man, I'm not too sure how you could do that. Because I think they're probably going to make it something along the lines of, like, military warfare. We need to figure out how to make...
Well, they have made those now.
Have they?
Yeah, I believe they've made
those
planes.
The reflector outfits.
Yeah, they've made planes and reflector outfits that now...
But it's going to be something along the lines of, like,
the
chameleon. The chameleon can change its colour to blend in with all of its surroundings. So we need you, fucking... And they'll give him... What the fuck was the actor who played the... Claude Rains.
Yeah.
They're going to call him Claude fucking Rains. Because that was the actor who played fucking Invisible Man back in the day. And he's going to be working with lizards. And it'll be reptile fucking...
No, I'm sorry. You're thinking way too smart. Do you know what they're going to do?
What?
This is my prediction, which is saying how stupid I believe these executives are. His last name will be Cellophane.
Oh, fuck. Professor Klingfilm.
It's gonna be something terrible like that. It's gonna be fucking horrible.
See, you can't... You know who actually apparently is up to play the Invisible Man?
Oh, go on.
Johnny Depp.
Oh, fuck. What's Helena Bonham Carter going to be?
Yeah, she'll be... Like, what? How do you make the Invisible Man? Like, it's going to be awful. Do you remember when they made that Kevin Bacon Invisible Man? Hollow Man?
That was hilarious.
The most terrifying thing about that was, it was Kevin Bacon that was invisible.
If they make it like the Sam Raimi's Darkman...
Yeah.
If they make it like that...
See, unfortunately, they're going to use too much CG.
Take the fucking elephant.
Take the fucking elephant. It's not going to work, the CG. It won't look right.
No.
Because you can't have somebody peeling off bandages and nothing underneath and having it look real. Back in the day, it did.
They'll have to paint their hands green.
Yeah.
And then peel it off. It'll be
I don't think that one will work.
We're gonna have we won't go and pay and see it now, but we're gonna have to see how badly the CGI'd removal of fucking Henry Cavill's mustache will be, and that will tell us how badly this fucking Invisible Man.
Do you know what I hope? I hope it's literally.
It's costing them a couple of million to remove a fucking mustache.
What I want them to, I hope it is. It's like, you know those videos where somebody's got a photo of somebody and they cut out the mouth and they video their own mouth and they're like, hello, I'm now doing this. And it's literally just like a faded in mouth over thing. I hope it looks like that. I hope the fucking Justice League implodes on itself.
It will.
But anyway, back to the dark universe. Not that dark universe, this one. I'm now desperately trying to figure out... Yeah, so, okay, the Mummy. Who could you introduce in the Mummy? You know what? The Mummy starts off...
Leave the Mummy as it is right now, where it's Tom Cruise as an introduction, right?
Okay.
And you don't introduce the elements of the Scooby Gang. You have basically, like, you have the fucking... What's the make of the car? BMW? Volkswagen?
I think it was a Volkswagen, yeah.
Have a Volkswagen in the background of the Bride of Frankenstein. Just,
okay.
It appears in a shot
See,
or two.
I like the idea that they're not... the gang.
Oh
yet.
yeah, no, but just throw some nods in there.
Yeah.
Have someone have a shot where they're in a supermarket and there's a list of all, like, they're in the cereal aisle and one of them is the green and blue, the Mr. Machine, and it just says Scooby Snacks. And you're just like, what? And you don't think much of it, you just think, oh, that's a kind of a cool nod. But then you find out that that's where Shaggy gets the idea for naming...
Shaggy's a dealer.
Oh.
Shaggy's a drug dealer. And he calls the dog Scooby.
Yeah.
After... Because he was like, well, when I found him, I was smoking a joint. So, Scooby Snack, Dooby Snack, you know, like... But, okay. I'm going to make a proposal here of how you introduce them. The Mummy film. You set it up, you have a Mummy film happen.
Yeah.
Then at the end, you have the Nick Fury thing.
The stinger.
Where a scientist comes in with his assistant. Short, lesbian-looking one with a little bob haircut and the big glasses. And you don't even say her name.
And do you know who you get to play her?
Who?
Shannon Purser.
Oh, fucking yes. Yes! 1,000 times yes. That is your first introduction. You don't bring it up, though. This is primarily the monster universe, but we'll have it revealed slowly. Bride of Frankenstein, right? That's when you have it intercut with the past and the present. In the present, they're trying to figure out a way to reanimate dead soldiers, so that a soldier that comes back from the dead is a soldier that doesn't die. And you have... There's old research of somebody who did it a couple of 100 years ago. And through that, it's the laboratory of the people who came in at the end of the Mummy. And they're trying to figure out, through the Mummy's resurrection, how they bring back soldiers. using the Frankenstein's information, and you have it intercut with, there was this family of scientists known as the Frankensteins, and he went off and did the thing, and you have the Velma character helping out through the whole movie. But then towards the end, the evil scientist who runs this fucking government facility has started to figure out how to do it.
Okay.
But then has a horrific accident and gets killed. And it turns out that it's his assistant, the short one with the bob and the haircut, Professor Dinkley.
Okay.
Who's covering up the fact that her ancestors were the Frankensteins.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
That's how you end that. You have it as a big moment where it's like, now she's running the facility.
Yeah.
So she's a head of this fucking government group. Awesome. Sorted. Her mission now is, we need to cover this stuff up because the world is not meant to know about it. Grand. Motive. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Teenage horror movie. Red-haired girl dragged to a party on a beach. You could even have them doing that terrible dance from the fucking, episode where they're dancing on the fucking beach, where maybe you have that her fucking, she meets Freddy halfway through.
And do you know who you have playing Daphne?
Who?
Karen Gillian.
Oh, fucking yes. Yes. Oh my god. So, right. We found this beach. They call it the Black Lagoon because nothing really grows there, and it's all the algae makes the water look black. Why would I want to go there? Because there's going to be a fucking rave and it's going to be cool. So she goes, and all hell breaks loose. This fucking weird creature comes out of the water, and it's a fucking horrifying monster, starts attacking people. The guy she started talking to, blonde hair, has a neckerchief because he's a douchebag, and a real posh guy, saves her and helps her out. Or you have her save him.
Do you know who you have play Freddy?
Who?
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, fucking yes! Yes! Oh my god, this is all coming together. We are creating the Dark Universe, and it is amazing. Right, so, you have that movie. Big dramatic thing happens. Monsters finally defeated. Where, do you know what? Oh my god, I figured it out. You know how they stop the creature? Freddy creates an elaborate trap.
Okay.
It's the first use of the Scooby team fucking, like, their signature traps. Because Freddy loves traps. So, end of that movie. Government arrives. Headed by Professor Dinkley. You got a good eye for this thing, Mr. whatever the fuck Freddy's surname was.
No.
Yeah, that was Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah, that's what I nearly fucking said that too. She's like, now, I don't see Velma as being like this older woman. I see her as being like around their age, where she's like not
she's
teenagers, but like their
20s.
early 20s. Yeah.
20s. Except for Freddy, who I imagine is a bit older.
Yeah.
Freddy's like the playboy.
Yeah, he's a rich guy.
Yeah.
So
he's one of those douche knuckles who wants to pretend to still be young.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to continue this now.
Okay.
Okay, Invisible Man. How do you do that? Okay, this is one of the first scenes where they come together as a bit of a team.
Have you introduced Shaggy yet?
No.
Okay.
That comes later. So, okay. You know what? Okay. We'll do it in sequence as the films are coming out. So, Invisible Man. Somebody who works for Velma.
Yeah.
Is doing the fucking figuring out how to make themselves fucking invisible, to make soldiers invisible, because an enemy that can't be seen is an enemy that can't be killed. That type of bullshit.
Yeah.
And she calls on Freddy and Daphne to come and help her, because which you guys know how and how you figured this shit out, you can help me take this guy down. And it's set in a facility, so you have a kind of an actiony thing, but it's like everything's metallic and shit like that.
Like
Like
the
clean,
end,
clinical looking.
Kind of like the end of World War Z with the Who. That type of building.
Yeah, like that. Like you could have, you know, those doors that it's like hanging rectangles of like plastic.
Yeah.
You could have moments where it's like they don't know where he is, and then you see the breath on that, like shit like that, where it's like, oh Jesus, and then they fly open, they all settle in, they're like, he could be anywhere in this fucking room. Shit like that. Big dramatic fucking movie. And then maybe you have, I don't know, they lock him in the incinerator.
Yeah.
And that's how they take him down at the end. They set up a fucking trap where it's essentially like, I don't know, they pour oil all over the fucking ground and have fucking Daphne get fucking chased by him. And then he fucking slips and he slides into this fucking room. Ink. So that they can tell where he is.
Yeah.
Then you could introduce something like some sort of tech. Like Velma creates weapons. So maybe she fucks with, like, has some sort of gun and fucking shoots him and it fucks him up and disintegrates. I don't fucking know. But anyway, you have that movie happen.
Cool.
Hey, we're getting good at this. We should form a team or something. Maybe it's like how Chris Hemsworth be like, what, and drive around solving like mysteries or something, and you have like, hey, why not? It could work. Ha! Fade out. Next film, Van Helsing.
Okay.
You tell the actual story of Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Van Helsing was the one took out Dracula.
Yeah.
You have a big dramatic thing where it's like he was, you know, maybe he was not so much the fucking Hugh Jackman yoke, where it's like he was an orphan that was brought up by the Vatican's secret government agency.
Wow.
Literally have it like he was one of many who have, like Velma, take on these fucking monsters that have been around. You know what? You could even fucking do? His ancestors took on giant towering lizards and apes. That's how you introduce Godzilla and shit like that into this. So, Van Helsing, you tell his fucking story. And what you do is, towards the end, Dracula cannot be killed. He can just be stopped for a while.
Sorry, I've just had the best idea for how the gang deals with Dracula.
How? They hotbox him?
Yes!
Sarcophagus! Oh my god. We gotta get him super high, dude!
He won't be able to move. We'll get him white. How will we tell that he's going white? I don't know, he's already white.
Oh, jeez. We're gonna need a lot more weed! But, okay.
Velma creates a synthetic version of weed.
No, they grow weed as a means of, like, we use this to help soldiers. It's a special kind of weed that helps you.
Medicinal weed.
Yeah.
Astral project into people's brains and steal their souls.
Oh dear, let's not get on to that topic again. But, right. Van Helsing ends with Van Helsing. He fucking traps Dracula in, like, it's a special kind of coffin. Okay. It's lined with silver.
Okay.
Like that fucking Dark Shadows movie with fucking Johnny Depp where he's a vampire that was stuffed into the coffin lined with silver.
Oh, yeah.
But you have it with that. It's wrapped in chains. And it's like, it's put in somewhere underground. Right? Where he makes an oath. Couldn't think of the fucking word. That he will protect it, and his ancestors will protect it.
Okay.
Cut to modern day. His ancestor is a bit of a fuckabout. Who doesn't want to be involved in the family business, but his dad is adamant. This has been in our family for centuries. You have to do this job. I don't know, I don't. I can do whatever the fuck I want. A lot of people in this world go off and do things that their families have been doing for years, and they make themselves into something else. What? Selling drugs? Yeah. And then he storms off. So you have that's the little tidbit. He's like, I'm gonna. What are you gonna do with yourself? I'm gonna go see the world. He goes out and he hops in his fucking hippie van and he drives off. End of fucking movie.
Cool.
Wolfman.
This is
the one you introduce Scooby-Doo creature. And it's the guy from The Stinger at the end of Van Helsing. You find out Shaggy is a descendant of Van Helsing.
Yeah.
So he's at this club.
It explains why he's so good at running. He's able to lift the fucking dog and carry it.
Yeah.
It explains why he can eat so much.
Who would you get to play him, though?
Just get your man, Matthew Lillard, back.
Yeah, he was the best Shaggy. He really fucking sold it.
Really
Now I'm
did.
thinking you either get him or you get someone kind of like buff. I don't know why. I'm imagining like a hairy looking cunt. Like who the fuck could you get to play him now? That's something we need to figure out. Figure it out while I continue on with this now. Okay, so Wolfman, introduction of Scooby and Shaggy. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate myself because my brain has immediately done it. My brain's going, what actor nowadays is still quite somewhat young, pulls off the long hair well, and can do voices? And my brain immediately went, Jared Leto used to have it. And then the other part of my brain went, no, Shannon! Remember, Shannon! No!
yeah, no, he's too crazy-eyed for me.
Yeah.
You need someone who's kind of unassuming so that when he steps up, it's fucking cool. So, that's the introduction of how Shaggy met Scooby. Scooby is a creature that is hundreds of years old now from when the Wolfman thing happened. You could have that, or it's modern age and that's what happened there. A small fucking town in the arsehole of nowhere. And the dog learned to speak English in the lab by listening to the scientists. And that's the stinger in that movie where you have him meet Shaggy. Now the next film was supposed to be Frankenstein, but I think we covered that back in the fucking Bride of Frankenstein thing. So you push those movies together and that's that. The next movie then, you have who, Shaggy?
And you're gonna laugh, but then you're gonna think about it and go, actually, okay, yeah. James Franco.
Holy shit. Yes. I accept that. And I'm not a fucking James Franco fan.
But he can do the weird voices.
He could pull off the stoner thing.
He can pull off the long... He's a fucking stoner. He pulls off the long hair.
Oh.
Here, I'll pull up... Here.
Yeah, no, that works. That works as a fucking idea, like.
Yeah, I'll find... Oh
yeah,
but you know which picture I'm talking about. Yeah. He's got the long, shaggy fucking hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Right, we have the entire thing.
So next movie, Dracula.
Yeah.
You have it start off. Shaggy's fucking father. He works in this facility that, in order to keep Dracula in his coffin, there's a lot of shit that needs to be paid attention to. He suffers a heart attack.
Oh, shit.
Collapses on the fucking the table, and basically the fucking coffin opens. You have a fucking do you know what? One continuous shot opening. He drops dead of a fucking heart attack. The coffin opens, and you have Dracula fucking reanimating his body growing back. He comes out and he's practically a skeleton because he hasn't had blood.
Okay.
He's like some meat, some tendons and
Doug
shit.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he's coming through the facility, you literally have the camera following him for the entire thing. A one continuous shot where he's like, it's 30 stories deep.
Yeah.
And every person he kills along the way, he's getting a little bit more of himself back. Until the very end, the camera comes up out of a window and you have the alarms going off in this facility. The door comes off and he steps out and it's night time. And as he's about to step out the main door, he looks over, just a long black jacket hanging. Takes it, throws it over himself, just over his shoulders so it looks like a fucking cape. And you have him walk out and then cut to black. Dracula.
Okay.
Then you have the stoner guy, Shaggy, with his talking dog, and they go around. Shaggy sells drugs.
Yeah.
He's a fucking drug dealer. He sells them out of his fucking van. And you have this whole fucking thing where it's like, so he's busted by the cops.
The dog gets impounded.
The dog, he's like, where the fuck's my dog? You can't take my dog from me. Like, he's all I got. Like, and they're like, we need to talk to you. And he's like, I don't know anything. I don't even own that shit. I'm taking care of it for a friend. It's like, the guy's like, oh, we don't care about the drugs.
It's the dog. This was escape from a fucking facility.
Not even that.
Go on.
We know who you are. And we know who your father is. Slides a file in front of him. And he's like, what the hell's this about? Person gets up and leaves. Then a little short scientist woman comes in with her glasses and sits down. Now, what the fuck is Shaggy's surname? Fucking...
Shaggy Shaggerson. I don't know. Shaggy...
What the fuck? Is this Shaggy...
Rogers.
Shaggy Rogers. Mr. Rogers, as of blah, blah, blah. And he's looking through this file. And it's like, as of 2800 last Friday, I'm afraid your father is dead. And he's like, what? And she continues on and basically says, like, your father was responsible for a government fucking facility where he worked, blah blah. And he's just like, my dad worked at the library. Like, and she's like, oh, is that what he told you? And that's how you introduce them. And it's the only person who can stop Dracula is a descendant of Van Helsing. You're the only one who's been able to do it. Your descendants, like, so you have to do it. It's some, you say, I don't know, some fucking intergalactic magic, who the fuck knows. But because he's a fucking stoner, you incorporate that he suffers from panic attacks. That's where the cowardice comes from.
Okay.
I want my dog. He's a service dog. He keeps me calm.
He smokes the weed because he's got anxiety disorders. Yeah.
I need my dog. He's a service dog. Oh, no, he's not. You found that dog. No, I didn't. And it's like, yes, you did, because it escaped from my laboratory.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have, like, a moment where the dog's brought in, and it's like, I don't know, give it somebody cool's voice. Like, I don't want it to be talking like
Get
this.
Bradley Cooper to voice it.
See, now I'm thinking Gary Oldman again.
Gary Oldman will voice the dog.
Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is Scooby fucking Doo. Holy shit, I love this. And that's how you get him, because he would work with Guillermo del Toro again. Oh my god, this is the greatest fucking idea for movies I have ever had.
You have ever had?
Well,
I began this bullshit.
So, the dog comes in and it's like, it starts talking to Shaggy and she's like, you taught it to speak English? And it's like, it could talk when I met it, and it's like, oh, you were listening to us. And it's like, I listen to a lot of things. I also know who he is. Do you think it was an accident, the reason I found him? And that's when you have like, holy shit, fucking Scooby's known about this fucking shit. He's learning because he's been listening and watching and shit like that. You have little things like that where he knows. Scooby's kind of like...
He's not an idiot.
Yeah. But because he's been in a fucking van with a fucking stoner, he's also kind of like dependent. So what you do is like, we need you to help us take down a threat. What, like terrorists? No, this is global. This is something that could destroy the human race.
This is a fucking vampire, bro.
So, you have this whole thing where maybe you have the first encounter with Dracula.
Yeah.
We've been tracking him. We know where he's going to be. So they go, maybe it's going to be in Transylvania. Fuck it. Like, he's going home.
Yeah.
So, they go there and they have a confrontation. And Shaggy has a full-blown panic attack and nearly fucking dies. We need you to stop having panic attacks. We need you on your A game. We need to train you. I've been smoking since I was 11 years old. I can't. We created these pills.
They're like weed brownies.
They're little. It's an edible that you can eat that will maintain your heart rate and keep you calm whilst giving you the CBD and fucking THC that your body is now used to. And he's like, so like a Scooby snack, and they're like, no, it's like, he's like, well, what the hell's it called? And she's like, it's F2HEF52785 or whatever. Give it some fucking scientific name. And just looks at the dog and it's like, Scooby Snack. Like something cool like that. Just a little fucking nod. Make it stupid. So he's fucking have him train then.
Yeah.
We've realised now that, look, we've gotten you as far as we can, but you need a team.
Yeah. Introduce
him to Freddie and Daphne.
Yeah.
I don't know what Daphne's fucking input into this is. I never really thought about it.
Daphne, bait. I don't actually know. Yeah. What did Daphne do? Danced, wore dresses.
Oh my god, okay. Let's jump back to the Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Okay.
The reason she doesn't want to go to the party, she's studying to be, I don't know, a journalist or somebody who takes down documents, or fucking a historian.
Yeah.
There you go. She wants to be a historian.
So she knows the history of Vanna. There we go. Okay, cool.
Give her, instead of the damsel in distress, yeah. And that's how...
And not in the stupid Sarah Michelle Gellar, I'm trying to make her smart.
Because I know Kung Fu now. No, you literally have, like... She's good at researching. Velma's the one who puts the shit together. Freddy's the one that is like, okay, I know how we can sort out this plan. And Shaggy's
the one with the power.
Yeah. The whole fucking team comes
together. Heart.
Scooby's like... You need a fucking companion. He's their big fucking monster dog. You can have him like big Hulk out.
Dane, yeah.
Have him... He can fucking smell shit that they can't smell.
Yeah.
Because he's a Great Dane. They're good for fucking tracking as far as I remember.
Yes, they are.
So, okay. The team goes and... I don't know. Do you know what it is? Dracula wants to reanimate the love of his life.
Okay.
So they're trying to find him in Transylvania. But he's not there anymore.
Okay.
This doesn't make sense. He's supposed to be here. But we don't know what his plan is until they find a room or something like that. Maybe, you know what? You could go as corny as they're trying to figure out some sort of information in the library, and Shaggy leans against a fucking bookcase and it slides open to reveal a secret fucking room. There's a book. Daphne sits down and starts reading through it. Oh my god, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to bring back the love of his life. And it's basically like Dracula's fucking diary, where it's like, I couldn't save her. I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
So then you tie it back to how all this started. Where could he possibly be? Velma goes, oh god, I know where he is. Cut back to her facility, where they have been developing the project to reanimate the fucking dead.
Oh yeah.
Because she's dead, he can't bite her to bring her back, because that doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So he needs to figure this shit out. This is how you could kind of do a Bride of Frankenstein twist, where it's the Bride of Dracula.
Yeah.
So he goes on, he finds them. It's kind of like the...
Can I bring up a point?
Yes, sorry.
We have Velma be related to the Frankensteins.
Mm-hmm.
We have Shaggy be related to Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Why don't we have the Bride of Dracula be Daphne's great-great-grandma?
Holy shit, that's even fucking better. Holy shit, why didn't I think of that?
And when he can't reanimate her,
he goes after... Oh my god. Oh god, you could have a really tragic moment where it's like, he's stolen all of our research, and they're like, what happens when he brings her back from the dead? And they're like, Velma's like, we could never figure it out, it doesn't work. And you have this tragic moment where like he's pulled her out of the grave, and he's like got her really delicately on like a tombstone, and he's trying to fucking bring her back with all these things, and it's not working. And you have a really sad, tragic moment where like he's cradling the bones in his arms, and it crumbles.
It slowly fades up, and we see the name on the tombstone.
Oh, Blake.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, this is fucking brilliant. So then he starts coming after them.
Yeah.
So you have they go into hiding, but he keeps finding them, and they're barely a step ahead. How are we going to stop him?
No, do you know
Freddy
what?
steps forward.
No, do you know what you do?
What?
You just end the Dracula movie with Dracula's coming after them. End.
Ooh, okay.
But they don't know. They think he's gone, he's left. He's not coming back.
Mm.
Then we go to the Phantom of the Opera, which is Freddy gets a will. His great-grandfather's fucking died, left him the opera house. He finds out that Freddy has an uncle who is the Phantom of the Opera, who falls in love with Daphne and tries to find her. And at the end, the way
Velma.
that
I think it will be interesting to have a fallen in love with Velma.
No, do you know what I was going to say?
Yeah.
He's obsessed with Daphne, yeah. And he's got her in the weird underground boat thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're going to live with me forever type of thing.
Mm.
And then it's
fucking
like
Dracula
steps out from the shadows and was like, over my dead body type of thing. And there's a giant battle.
See, I know there's supposed to be the Hunchback of Notre Dame film, but forget about that, because we could end it in the Phantom of the Opera, and I have a way how.
Do it.
There's a big fight between Dracula and the Phantom of the Opera, and over fucking Daphne. And in the middle of it, the gang finds the place down there, and they're trying to get Daphne out, and they're wading through the water to get out. Mm. And they're trying to figure out... Suddenly the fight ends. Dracula fucking, bites the fucking throat out of the Phantom and kills him. And he's walking on the water after them. And they're wading through because, they're being fucking weighed down. And maybe fucking Daphne's, passing out. And you have a moment where... maybe the door that they came through is closed up and they can't get out. And it's this tense moment where he's walking towards them and you're like, oh god, they're fucking dead. They're all gonna fucking die. And you have... you have Velma explain how... what your father did, Shaggy, wasn't just sitting at controls. He performed rites every single day that kept Dracula.
Oh my god!
in the fucking
what you were doing.
And he's like, "What are you talking about? Bless the water, Shaggy."
This is amazing.
And you have this big dramatic moment where he's literally he's like, okay, and he does
Dominus.
Yeah, he just blurts out some bullshit fucking prayer that maybe he read in the fucking library earlier. And as he reads it, fucking Dracula bursts up into flames. And it's like, holy fuck, this is what he's able to do. So Shaggy's kind of like a cleric of sorts. And you have the smoke rises up out of the opera house. Because it's coming from the fucking sewers beneath. And that's how they're found. And it's like... we should do this professionally. And it's like, what, that stupid idea I had where we drive around and solve mysteries. And they're like, why not? We're good at this. With your smarts, with your knowledge of history, your ability to form fucking traps or whatever, and my fucking ability in Scooby, why don't we? We could, and it's like, my sources in the government, that wouldn't be too difficult to set up. We'd need a name though. And then you have the fucking van has Mystery Machine on the side, and Shaggy's like, check it out, I resprayed my van. And they're like, we're not getting in that. And he's like, oh, come on. And it's like, no, we got something better. And have a new van, something like a government truck that they drive around. And it's like, he's like, can I still call it the Mystery Machine? And they're like, oh, sure, whatever. Or you just have like Mystery Inc. on the fucking side. Done. End the fucking done. Sorted. Now, I don't know how you could do a stinger as a teaser for something else. I'm trying to fucking think now. How could you fucking do it? I don't know, we've discovered... Professor Dinkley, we've discovered a talking shark called Jabberjaw.
No! How about be ghosts? Ghosts. A cybernetic ghost comes out of the computer and sends them into the computer and it's the cyber chase again.
What
Zombies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other kind of cartoons we could tie it into, though.
Oh god, I don't know. Riverdale. They go to Riverdale.
Oh dear.
They've done that. You know they're doing that, yeah?
Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Sorry, folks, doing a bit of research here for Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Oh Jesus, what could you do? There's so many of them. Fucking a reanimated caveman. That's Fred Flintstone. Oh my god.
I think we've reached the end of our good ideas.
No, I have it.
Okay.
I have how you have the teaser. So Velma, after everything, is back in her lab, and Professor comes in and it's like, I've got some information on another case. Oh, thank you, Dr. Quest. Johnny fucking Quest!
It's a talking bear who keeps stealing picnic baskets.
Oh no. The bears in Jellystone Park are, they're becoming sentient. Oh my god, there's so many things we could do.
There's a bunch of alley cats.
that are wearing suits.
Oh god, they're out of control road races in mid-Manhattan.
Oh god.
There's
a pigeon that's carrying information.
We find out Daphne has a sister, Penelope Pitstop.
Oh Jesus Christ. She's from down south. Oh god. This is fucking... No, do you know what? Do you know what you have happen?
No! Don't do it.
What are you thinking? Because I have a fucking stupid idea that would be kind of a dig at DC, but go on.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be like, it turns out the Wolfman didn't just have one dog. He had a smaller one.
He had a stupid one that they call Scooby-Dum.
No, Scrappy!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, Scooby's a female and she gives birth at the end. No, do you know what you have happen?
Go on.
They're all back in the laboratory. They're doing research for their next case.
Okay.
Suddenly the lab starts filling with like sparks and lightning and shit like this.
No.
No.
Okay.
Doorway opens up in the lab, like Loki when he appeared in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Out steps a man with red hair. I need you guys' help. I'm from the future. My name is George Jetson.
And this is my creepy green alien thing. I introduced him fucking until... Do you remember the weird alien who lived in the Flintstones world?
Oh, fucking... The Great Kazoo or something like that, was it? You have fucking George Jetson step out with his robot psychic, Rosie.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have this future fucking movie then. That's when it jumps to shark. But, like, Jabberjaw shark.
You don't actually make those films. You just kind of leave it as a little bit of a stinger.
Yeah, like, look folks, we're not going to make any more of these, but, yeah, Flintstone, the fucking Jetsons, there you go. Oh, God.
What started as a reason to complain
started as quite possibly the greatest movie franchise idea of all time.
Universal, Hanna-Barbera, hire us. We will write your films.
Is Hanna-Barbera owned by Universal?
I don't know.
That's a question now. Who actually owns MGM?
MGM. Warner Brothers.
Didn't MGM go out of business?
It's owned by, isn't it Warner Brothers now?
I'm not too sure. There's a fucking idea for you. It's copyright Shannon and Gary, motherfuckers. This is
Yeah,
quite possibly
copyrighted. All of these thoughts, they're copyrighted.
This is...
Don't
genuinely think this could really work.
Don't steal our things. These are our things. Unless you're gonna pay us a lot of money, you don't steal our things.
Oh my god. The Fred Flintstone movie?
No.
Do you know how they deal with him? They get their own caveman.
Oh no, not the hair.
Captain Caveman!
For fuck's sake.
And you could, like, this is something that you could have so many references. So many fucking references. Like, I don't know, a place that sells, that maybe they're in Japan, and there's a fucking, like, a fucking little restaurant that sells octopus. You could call it Squiddly Diddlies or something like that. Something to be fucking funny in the background. The club that Shaggy comes out of in that little stinger, as the door's closing, you hear, and up next, Josie and the Pussycats. Shit like that it's like, oh, it's all tied together. Like, there was a fucking, I don't know, oh, here's my lawyer, Harvey Birdman. Like, shit, things like that would be so fucking good. Like, oh, we need to deal with this crazy man who thinks he's able to save his failing pet business by selling a gorilla.
Oh god.
Like, and then you could tie that into another gorilla story where it mutates into Grape Ape, where it turns into the giant purple fucking ape. There's so many ideas. This is full of potential. We're going to be billionaires, Shannon. Billionaires! Oh my god. Well, I think that we'll do it for this week's episode of absolutely fucking madness.
HoopTalk.
This has been HoopTalk podcast for this week, folks. I've been Gary.
I'm Shannon. Give us your money.
I really want to watch Scooby-Doo now.
Not the second. Actually, no. I actually prefer the second one.
Yeah. Have a good week, folks. Bye.
Bye.